Welcome back to the Interviewing People Career Cast, featuring highlights from the full-length interview with Kathryn Patterson, the marketing and engagement lead for Visit Bowling Green, Ohio. In the highlights, Kathryn shares about what she does, the importance of creativity in this position, and much more. So sit back, relax, and know you can always go back to watch our full interview if you'd like to learn more. Enjoy the show.
Okay, so typically my day starts in the morning, about 9 a.m. I get here, and the first thing I do is I go to our gobgohio.com website, and I check and see if anyone has added new events that I need to approve. And then I get on our social medias and just make sure, like, if any comments were put out, and just make sure I'm engaging with those. I go through and I try to share on Facebook and Instagram, especially our local businesses, what they're doing, find events that are happening, so then I can connect those to our website as well, so that everyone knows about it and it's like in a uniform space, so that I'm promoting what like the restaurants, the bars, and different entities are doing as well. So we're under the chamber, but we are different. The easiest way for me to explain that is the chamber is, you have to pay to be a part of the chamber. So business has to pay to be a part of the chamber. And so the chamber really only promotes businesses that are a part of the chamber, where Visit BG Ohio, we're promoting everyone in Bowling Green. It doesn't matter. It's not a membership basis. So that's the big difference. Everything was currently in place when I started. We didn't have necessarily like a good system of like how we posted, and I'm still working on that. I think anyone that understands social media knows that the rules change every single day, basically, which makes it a little bit difficult when that's our main marketing right now. So just trying to figure out like how often to post and all of those things has to look different, and just trying to be like keep our engagement up. But fortunately I had like previous experience in what I've done before with keeping up on social media. I've never really done a lot with websites. And then another big part of what I do is advertising. So I've had to create like full page ads, and I didn't take any classes for that, basically. And anything that I would have taken, because I graduated from the University of Philly in 2005, most of that would be kind of outdated at this point too. So it's just kind of teaching myself, and Google's my best friend. So it's just an interesting, like, to be able to come back and like learn from those that you grew up with, but also like my mentor that I was talking about, she's younger than I am. Like the way I know her is because she was one of my students at camp. So just being able to not always, a mentor doesn't necessarily have an age limit. And I think that's been really humbling for me, is it doesn't have to be someone older. And especially because I'm kind of like restarting my career in a way. There are going to be younger people that are going to know more, be further in their career. And so just being able to, it doesn't matter, and just being able to willing to learn from anyone. Well, I think first of all, the social media aspect of that. So I've been running multiple social media outlets for years. I think that's really helpful for me, because I'm used to not just having my own personal Facebook and my own personal Instagram. I've been running multiple for a long time. Currently, I run my personal pages, but then I also run social media page, Facebook for an Instagram for Visit BG Ohio. And then I also am running that for another nonprofit entity, part of Bowling Green, Firefly Nights, which is an event that'll come up in the summer. So just knowing how to do that, I think, has been really helpful, and being able to balance that. And then the biggest thing, I don't know if you guys are using Canva yet at Van Buren, but I learned how to use that again from one of my old coworkers. She taught me how to use it, and then I learned kind of tweak that. And I couldn't do my job without Canva. It's huge. It's helped a lot just with the marketing and learning some different things and learning how things look. And again, I came and they had previously Visit BG Ohio and the chamber and the city had just gone through a marketing change. And so they had new logos and everything. And so that made it really easy to come in and say like, okay, so these are our colors and this is our color scheme. And to understand that. So right before I was at College First Church of God as a youth pastor and youth director, excuse me. And before I left, I was actually on the team to talk about their new logo and their branding, went through a branding change. And so knowing that and understanding how like branding works really helped because I had no clue like what a branding book was previously. So that really, I think, was really big to me. So when I came in, I was like, okay, so where's our branding book? What are the branding rules? And they're like, so that helps knowing that rather than just coming in and being clueless about that. Branding is so important. So when you're putting things out and looking at social media, looking at it as a brand and making sure that it flows really well, you never want to put anything out that just doesn't. And so looking at yourself and branding yourself first, that's your first place. And that's kind of where I started. I started just messing around and branding myself. And then that made it easier when I was looking for jobs. Like, okay, this is who I want to present. And now I'm presenting this entity to look at that. And I think another part of it is really just pay attention to what catches your eye as well. So I grew up in magazines where that was what we all had. We all had magazines. And I still have one of my favorite, it's actually a Nike ad, and I have it in my office still. I've had it since I was a teenager and I have it in my office. And I think like those things that really click with you and knowing how to use it's pictures and words and all of it together and how to tell a story. It's storytelling is really important. And I actually was able to go listen at BGSU to a speaker, and he was talking about the power story. And I think that that's just so important in learning how to tell stories well, and then figuring out what story you're trying to tell. The hard part is when it flops, when it doesn't do well, or when you make a mistake and then everyone has seen it. So, I mean, it's all out there and
right.
They're commenting on it and sharing it and they're like, oh, look at them. So when it's like, when there's the negative things, I think you have to just learn how to like roll with that too. It's not if, it's when. I make mistakes and it's going to happen. And I think just being able to have that thicker skin to be able to say like, okay, thank you for pointing that mistake out and fixing it and just moving on. Or, I mean, even with some of the activities and events, when we're promoting them, like as Visit BG Ohio, some people aren't going to always agree with those, or there's going to be things that like maybe I don't necessarily like quote unquote agree with, but they're still like, that's not my job. My job is to promote it and to put it out there. And so I think that's just important. And then also to know that it doesn't necessarily, it's not a 9-to-5 kind of a job. I know a lot of like my Instagram and stuff, especially for like Bowling Green, a lot of things happen and like are put out like later and stuff. And so like finding those and sharing those, it takes time. And just to know that, I don't know, like you just have to let the perfectionism go though. It's not going to be, you can't be perfect.
Thank you for watching this episode showing highlights of the latest Interviewing People career cast with Kathryn Patterson. And to make your Mondays better than ever, subscribe so you can hear more career stories from those who are actually doing the work. Thank you for watching. And as always, remember that the best part about Mondays is interviewing people.